Today's a good day for the ZX6R. We can get all the parts off that can allow us to take the engine out of this bike, starting with the oil cooler down here right below the radiator. So the unfortunate thing about both the radiator and the oil cooler is, as you might be able to see based on that kind of weird glossy finish, all of it is spray painted, which could very well hurt the value quite a bit. There we go. The oil cooler and the radiator are just going to come off like that. I believe I already unplugged this fan. Oh yeah. See, I thought I drained it all.
You did, but there's always extra.
Even more. Oh, that's kind of weird. This hose was held on by a zip tie. Whoa, that don't look so good. This thing was dropped, it looks like. Unfortunately.
Pinched a little.
Dropped or like leaned against something too hard, or... Why don't we take a look at what's under this hose? I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but from my perspective, that don't look so hot. Not even sure what that is. Oh, it's the old finish, maybe.
Did somebody put something in there to try and make it not be flat?
Yeah, I don't even know. It looks like there's some dirt in there.
Some rubber cement?
Maybe.
It's not. They tried to put some sort of sealant on it or something.
It's on here too. I wonder if that's some kind of weird something in the antifreeze, because it's on here too. Unless they put the same sealant stuff on that.
I think you can still sell that radiator. You just have to disclose that situation there, maybe clean it up a little bit.
Definitely clean it up. Got the radiator out. Most of it looks okay. We got the fan, it can spin freely, and the wires look all good. Only sucky part is, obviously, it's spray painted. You might be able to see it a little better on here. And the big elephant in the room is that don't look so good. But the guy said it did run a year ago. Said he wrote it, so I'm sure this can function still, so we're good to sell this still. Obviously for a lower price than what I could sell it for if it was not like that. So we're getting this oil cooler off, taking off the lines at the engine, because we're gonna need to get them off anyway, so I'm not just get done right now. So grimy on the bottom of the bike. There's one. I want that.
Gotta have it. Because you see how it's got that hole in there?
Yes. Dude, please. There it goes. Right into the drain pan. There is my spray paint covered oil filter.
Oil cooler.
And that's oil cooler.
You are cooler than an oil cooler.
Oh, thanks.
They'll need those washers, whoever buys this.
I'm just getting everything de-oilified, hopefully. So with the oil cooler coming off, those are the two easiest parts for today. Now we got to get the headers, which were under the radiator and oil cooler, and obviously the rest of the exhaust all off of there. And then we're gonna get the front end off, and then we're pretty much on our way to get the engine out of this bike, which starts a whole nother level of parting out. Getting the outside of a bike, that's one thing, but the engine, there's so much high potential parts inside of an engine that are most of the time, if it's running, really nice. We still got a bit ahead of us, but we're gonna get the engine off. Now for the really satisfying part, get all these bolts off. Now we can get the headers. Oh, wow, it's just ready to come off. A piece of crap, unfortunately. But got the whole exhaust, headers, and muffler off the bike.
Yeah, you know what those are worth?
Probably $0 because it's stock.
Probably about $1 worth of scrap steel.
I don't think anyone would buy a stock muffler.
We can recycle it.
Wow, look how much that clears up the bike. It looks so much skinnier now. And look how open that engine is. Man, I'm excited to get that thing off. Starting with this right clamp-on handlebar, you can start getting this front end off the bike. I'm gonna try something new that I've never done before. I'm gonna get a car jack and jack up the front of the bike so that I can just pull the front end right out of there without having to tip over the bike. So like I said, I've never done this before, so this may end up very badly, and so far I'm getting pretty worried. But if it can balance, then that's a really easy way to pull this front end.
If it'll stay. Not a chance.
Lifting the bike up did not work, so instead, gonna just tip the bike over so we can pull it out sideways. Loosening up all these triples, by all these I mean these two, which now I realize I should have done before putting this bike on the ground. There's the hard ones. Now I can easily get the other ones off of there, and then just slide this whole thing out really easy. To make things easier on myself, I'm just gonna, oh, I love this stubby.
Seriously?
Just gonna undo this top triple, and then this bottom triple and the forks and the tires will all pull out together. Should be, hopefully, easier. Let's see if I can just compress the forks enough to get it out of there. There we go.
It's moving. There it goes. Nice. With all that rust, I was not thinking that would come off easy.
Well, gladly.
The bottom triple should pull right out of there. Here it comes.
Wish this bike sits still. There it goes.
Unicycle.
It's actually hobby biking. This is a real sport, you know.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Andrew's hobby biking.
Now that I got some hobby biking out of the way, I can get back to actually working on this thing. This bottom triple comes right off. And then I will unbolt the forks from the tire here. From the wheel, I mean. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different parts that just came off, including the top. Top and bottom triple clamp. There's another part. Now for the forks. Oh,
nice.
All right. There's fork number 1 and the axle bolt. That thing is a beast. Now, can pop off the axle with fork number 2 on it and then loosen these up real quick. That hurt.
That was awesome.
Falling apart, man. Some of that stinky old grease on my fingers. That was a great choice.
That does stink.
That was really silly. The socket and the bolt just kind of exploded.
You might spin that, but I don't think you have to.
Probably just very lightly. Oh.
It'll come out.
Durable.
Reassemble it for whoever buys that.
Yes.
They will be happy. This goes there too. Sorry.
Oh, yes. I was wondering why there wasn't a... God, that really stinks. I wonder if that's the Cowie grease. Because if it is, then my 250 in a few years is gonna stink. The axle off. Right here, we have a pretty nice front tire. There's some glow-in-the-dark tape on it. Probably just peel that off. But otherwise, looks really cool. Some nice green Michelin tires with pretty nice rotors on them. I should be able to get a few bucks for this once I clean it off. So I'm really happy with that one.
Definitely.
And then right here, we have 2 clean, very straight forks. So that's another like 180 bucks. Because forks are really expensive, because whenever somebody gets in a crash, the first thing to bend, if it's a head-on collision with like a wall or something, is going to be the forks. So that's a great part to get off. Now we can get this rear end off, and then as you can see, there isn't really much for bike left, so we're looking good. So now we get to have the fun of taking off this rear end, starting with the kickstand, because everything kickstand-wise is in the way for getting off the lower suspension components there. So now that trip sensor is out of the way, I can actually unbolt the kickstand. Come on, Stubby.
It's the hardest I've ever seen that thing work.
That was red Loctite, so.
I was gonna say it's red Loctite, that's why.
Every time I use that Stubby, I'm impressed. I love it. So I'm just gonna put that back on there so I don't lose any of it. And then I'll take it off once I can get to that sensor, which is I actually can get to really easily in about 3, 2, 1. There's another potentially good part. A kickstand by itself isn't worth really that much, but with this trip sensor, it may be worth something. Taking off this lower suspension bolt that I can actually get to now. And I think it's one of the ones where I'm gonna have to hold it on the other side. Luckily, I have the tools to do so. Good job, little Stubby.
Man, where were those things when I was working on these back in the day? My battery-powered impacts 20 years ago would never have done that.
I love the Stubby. This is the moment of truth. In the last episode, if you watched it, you would have seen that the person who was working on this bike wired, or I guess ran, the rear brake line through where the shock sits. Don't know why they did that, but finally, as you can see, I can pull it out of here and get my rear set out of here, which I was just so excited to do, and then so bummed I couldn't. Here we go. Finally, got the brake side rear set off of there, and that is a great part to have. Now let's work on getting this swing arm out of here. Now, this Stubby, after proving its worth to us multiple times, gets to take off a swing arm bolt. So let's see.
God, man, that thing is just an animal.
I love it. Puts a smile on my face. Standing the bike up, we can get to the other side of the swing arm, hopefully easily enough. Pull it off there. That is a heavy engine. So in usual engineer fashion, they made it extremely hard to get it off, it being the swing arm. So we're just still working on getting it off. Starting with this chain guard here, which is in the way of another bolt, yet another engineering wonder. There comes that bolt, which get this linkage off, which means once we lift up this tire, I can, in theory, get off the shock. I'm lifting up this tire because the swing arm has to go up. Nice. The swing arm's gonna go up even more. There we go. Much better. There we are.
Hey, look at that. A rear shock.
Got the rear shock out of there with the linkage. That's awesome. Pulling this back wheel and tire off of here. And with that, we have everything for today at least for getting this bike ready to get the frame off of the engine. As you can see, this is just an engine with a swing arm and a frame attached to it. So next week we'll pull that off of there and then start disassembling the engine.